Talking Neighbourly podcasts.
This is a mural that we completed in 2024 with the artist from Berlin Innerfields. This mural you can find in Wong behind PMQ in Soho area. It covers one big side of the three-storey high building.
I noticed with this one that unlike what some people might think, there's no evidence of spray painting here. I might be wrong, but this looks like it was all done, and I have seen an Instagram clip that shows the two artists were working with paintbrush and paint.
Yes, they use primarily paintbrush and acrylic paint. This is a water-based acrylic paint that a lot of artists use. The way they paint is very photorealistic with a lot of details and layers of colors. And they have been painting all over the world, and they're really famous for depicting complex relationship between human and technology and also the environment. So this one you see as a Chinese woman in an astronaut outfit. She's holding a phone which is in the void, so it's like completely blanked out in white to highlight technology. And then there is a Hong Kong bird resting on her shoulder, snipping off the cable that is linking her between like the phone and the electricity. So it's trying to tell the story of how human these days in digital age are so absorbed within their own digital world, and they don't even notice the beauty and nature surrounding them. So round the corner, there's another mural by LA-based artist Awi. This one is very different from the previous one. Even though it still has some photorealism elements into it, he has been working in Nepal for an orphanage for like the last 5 years. And this is a girl called Samina, and he painted her because she's an orphan, and he feels that like they don't get to travel and they don't get to go anywhere around the world. So whenever he travels, he would like to paint these children that he met at the orphanage. It's like bringing them around the world.
So has she seen it?
Yeah, pictures.
There's a section of a few letters, a cropping of a big kind of sprayed graffiti. What's that?
Just Awi style, because he comes from a graffiti background.
That was Maria Wong, co-founder of street art NGO HKwalls, describing two commissioned murals near her office in Central on Hong Kong Island. I'm Andrew Dembina, podcast host and editor for beingneighbourly.com, and this is our third episode. As ever, we will hear the story of an interviewee who's making an impact and being inspired by the lives and neighbourhoods of Hong Kong.
Hi, I'm Maria Wong. I'm the Managing Director of HKwalls. My main role is to produce the annual Street Art Festival in March during Hong Kong Art Month. And also day-to-day running the organization. We have artist development programs. We have artist in residence program. So we work with a lot of different companies and also organizations.
So it's been 11 years since Hong Kong Walls launched. How many artworks have been undertaken to date?
I would say the murals that we created during the festival will be around 400. Not counting street activations and also installations that we created, and digital art as well.
So how many artists do you have on your books, both in Hong Kong and around the world?
Our network is really wide, so I wouldn't give a number because we can work with anybody around the world.
And what's the ratio of private to public spaces for your murals? We can see a lot of the murals, especially close by to where your office is, that's around the Soho Central neighbourhood. But are there some behind closed doors that people also commission?
Yes, we do take a lot of commission projects, for example, for restaurants, for offices, also in schools. But during the festival, the murals that we created are all in the public space.
Outside of the central area, are there lots more to be found across Hong Kong?
Yes, absolutely. The festival has been around for 12 years. So we have been to many different districts around Hong Kong. For example, Wong Chuk Hang, Stanley, Sam Shui Po, and Wan Chai. So you still find some of the work, especially in Wan Chai, that's more recently. A lot of the murals are still around. The festival started in 2014, and because at a time there was no major art fair that represent street art, so we found a pocket in Hong Kong that we really want to celebrate these artists. And then we were thinking we're also taking references and inspiration from street art festivals around the world. That's how we started. During the festival, of course, we'll be painting murals in the streets. And also, we always have a pop-up space that runs many different programs, exhibitions, workshops, sometimes screenings within the space. So in that 9-day festival, you will get to have a taste of not just seeing artists creating the work in the streets, you also see street art in many different formats within our pop-up event space as well.
Now, in 2026, you had something called Art on the Move. So mobile art, as in moving around Hong Kong. How did that work? Which areas did you go to? I saw that there were even some pretty eye-catching designs on the side of vehicles.
Yes, Art on the Move is our first edition of having a series of trucks that we painted at the same time during the festival. We've done that before, but this year we really had a good collection of trucks and artists painting at our event space in PMQ. And then the audience get to see the artists creating the work in front of them and then see them roaming around the streets. They're still in the streets right now.
And inside some of those trucks were more artworks, weren't they, exhibited?
Yes, we want to take the opportunity to use the trucks since they're going to be stationed in a space for 9 days. We thought it would be a great idea to actually activate the space inside as well, to do exhibitions, installations, and we even have like a music performance happening there one time as well.
So part of your work must be getting the okay officially for these trucks to park up, the same as they must be for every time you commission a mural and getting all of the different kind of paperwork done to make this possible. Is that where a lot of your time goes as well?
Oh yes, absolutely. Preparing for the festival, getting permission to paint, because every surface we paint, of course, we get permission. And that is a lot of work. And also coming up with a new idea every year of what we want to do and what would be interesting. A lot of times it's really about the people that we know, relationship that we built through the years, and just kind of spark ideas for what we want to do that year.
I read that Hong Kong Walls also includes local neighbourhood communities in discussions about the way that public works will be appearing, how they'll be executed. How does this work? Do you end up having meetings at the beginning and then you get on with it, or is it ongoing while you're getting a project? What do they think about this or that? Or would that just simply take too long?
Actually, getting the permission is already the process of speaking with the community, because a lot of times these buildings, whether it's residential or commercial or industrial, they always have a lot of tenants and a lot of owners. In order to get permission, we have to present artists that we feel and style that we feel will be a good fit for that particular wall. And then because of that, we always will have to have a better understanding of the tenants and the owners, people that are actually using the space and what they like.
And what have you been told after a mural is completed that the impact has been on local neighbourhoods, businesses and tourism? What kind of comments have you had?
I think mostly very welcoming. How do we know? Because since we started in 2014, I think we have got more and more people coming to us and say, oh, we would love to work with you, or we'd love to offer our walls for you to paint. And we have got really positive feedback. And then just like today, you can see like all these street art tours that comes up, taking tourists or even locals around to see the murals. So it's been very positive and welcoming.
Do you think that the public in Hong Kong have become a little more accepting of graffiti art as a form? I know that some of your murals and street art around the world use paintbrushes as well, but it's a long way behind some other parts of the world of spray paint art being accepted.
Yes, I think the general public don't really notice, not a lot of them will notice whether it's like being painted by brush or painted by spray can. It's more about the content of what the artists are presenting. And I would say, I think it's still a long way to go, but people are really loving colors and having stories being told on walls and on public spaces. But then, of course, there's still challenges. For example, if you want to do a graffiti jam, that would be a bit more tricky because a lot of people would think, oh, graffiti is just writing letters and writing their own names. But it's also an art form in its way to actually create a good piece of work.
I mean, there are some interesting works around Soho and, say, Sheung Wan, some of the smaller streets, Cat Street, even very touristy areas. Do you think the local residents are glad to see an area brightened up, or do you think not always so much?
I think when it's something that easier for them to understand with bright colors and messages that they can understand and they can appreciate, they welcome those, of course. But random, as you say, tagging and stuff like that, it will be probably less accepted.
Yeah.
But I do feel like there is an audience and there are fans out there that are really, really into graffiti and really want to understand the culture and follow those things.
A couple of questions about specific projects. Do you ever talk about what you're doing at the moment?
Yes. We are working with the bank right now, creating 12 different pieces of artwork with the staff engagement aspect. The staff and the artists are working together to create artwork that will be exhibit within the corporate office. And we're also working with a few schools right now, creating large-scale murals that's going to be in their school for years to come.
Those sound great. Can I ask also, what have been some of the most unexpected or surprising requests that you've had and that you've managed to execute?
Recently, we finished a commission mural in Kowloon City. It's a 6-story high old heritage building, tong. In Kowloon City, there's a huge Thai community. So we commissioned a group of Thai artists to come to Hong Kong to create the work. And it was right in the middle of a season that is like a lot of rains. Because it's a 6-story high building, we have to build scaffolding and all of that. And to just like come back with the weather, climbing up and down the scaffolding and finishing the piece within 1 week. It was challenging and also like get everybody happy because the mural is going to be on this building for a very long time and they have a big community of people living there and seeing this mural. So it's a lot of jigsaw puzzle pieces that we have to put together to make everyone happy. But we finished it.
So, Maria, is it correct that you grew up around the area that we're sitting in now?
Yes.
So you would have seen the whole rise of what, is being called Soho these days. How does it feel to have been in this neighbourhood, not only seeing its transformation, but being part of a visual, ongoing transformation as so much of your work is around here?
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost like homecoming. I grew up in this area. I was born in this street,
Really?
on Staunton Street, yes.
Wow.
And I've been living here all my life. In the middle, we've moved to different places. Now our office is coming back to Central District, especially in PMQ. It's really lovely to see the evolution of this neighborhood. Back in the days when I was growing up, nobody called this place Soho. It was actually nicknamed Dog Poo Street because there were a lot of stray dogs when I was growing up, especially in the 80s. And then once the escalator was built, the whole neighborhood changed. You start having the first bar in the neighborhood, and then all of a sudden it's like F&B everywhere. And then start to have little shops and stuff. I see this as a very welcoming change, I guess. The whole essence of Central hasn't changed. It's still very east meet west. Even when I was growing up, it's an area that you will always see different people, very diverse. The essence of the neighborhood has never changed.
So did you gravitate towards art while at school?
I guess yes. I've always been intrigued by whether it's performing arts or visual arts. Art has always been a big part of our lives. My brother is a musician, but my parents are from the working class. My mom was a seamstress and then later on started working in a department store. My father drove minibuses. I guess they have always been very nurturing, and because of my brother and I, our interest in the arts, what we just kind of gravitate towards, they've always been very supportive. I've always really enjoyed art in school. I'm not exactly an artist, but I love going to exhibitions. I study film and television.
So finally, Maria, what's next for HKwalls?
I don't know. We don't know what's next year. We are planning for the festival. Preparing for the festival is also about not just ideas. It's about finding the right partners and right people to work with and to make those ideas happen. This is the process that we're going through right now. We have tons of ideas, but where can we find the support to make those ideas happen? That is what we're doing right now.
Okay, well, good luck with your organisation for that and your continual projects.
Thank you so much.
Maria Wong was speaking there. She's co-founder and managing director of HKwalls, a street art NGO best known for its annual festival held every March, when local and international artists create striking works in interesting places. Find out more about the company at hkwalls.org. And keep your eyes and ears peeled for forthcoming Being Neighbourly podcasts via the beingneighbourly.com website. I'm Andrew Dembina, lifestyle print and digital writer, editor and broadcaster, saying bye for now. Until the next podcast.